What up, YouTube world? So we are here talking about boxing advice and whatnot. A lot of people ask me questions pertaining to boxing things. I just dropped a video this morning about working a 9 to 5 and working a full 9 to 5 and being in the gym full time. It's 110% doable, but it just depends on sacrifice and discipline and dedication. If you're not disciplined enough to if you're not disciplined enough to cut your time down to okay, sorry about that. Yeah, if you not disciplined enough to cut your time down with people and with unnecessary things, then nah, you're not gonna make it. Unfortunately, yeah, you can 110% work a job full time. Um, Yeah, you can 110% work a job full time and box full time. The problem is people clock out of work and then they want to go hang out with their friends, or they want to go party, or they want to go chill with this girl or chill with this boy and hang out with friends and all this other stuff. And yo, what's up with you, Playboy? Playboy Will. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. You can't have it both ways. If you are going to dedicate your time and your life to boxing, the sad, unfortunate truth is like, yeah, if you're working a 9 to 5, you gotta get off your job, go home, get something to eat, properly get a little nap in, and then head straight over to the gym. And then right after you get out of the gym, you need to go home and you need to go to sleep and you need to get ready for work. I think people have this weird misconception and this weird notion that you are allowed to have like this crazy social life while you're trying to focus on becoming a boxer, like at least on a world class professional level. They have this thing where you can have like a big social life and you can do all of the things that you used to do and hang out with the people that you used to hang out with and all the things. And like, unfortunately, it really just doesn't work that way. Um, you have to seriously cut down on all of that. Like when I say cut down, I don't mean cut back. I mean cut it off, because you're not going to have time for that. Not if you plan on taking boxing seriously. It's doable to have a job and work a 9 to 5. Somebody was like, "Oh, well, having a job and boxing and having an 8-month-old child and having a wife and trying to keep everybody happy." And I'm like, and somebody just said that on the comments of my last video, and I'm like, I have 2 wives, 7 kids, 2 households, 2 sets of bills, 2 rents, 2 everything, and I still work, gym, home, work, gym, home, work, gym, home. No, everybody's not going to be happy all the time. This is reality. This is real life. This is not some BS fantasy storytelling made up Disney bullshit. Like, absolutely not. No, you have to sacrifice. If and in fact I can, and like I said, it's not like I'm making nothing up. Like, people see me record content and like they see me in different living rooms. Can't make everyone happy chasing your dream. You can't make everybody happy chasing your dream, Playboy. Well, and I'm happy that you said that, because the truth. But people see me record content all the time and see me record content in different content rooms, different living rooms, different kitchens, and think that I be lying when I say I have 2 different households. Why am I in 2 different households on a regular basis? Because it's the thing to do. No, I'm serious. I have 7 kids, 2 wives, and 2 sets of every bill that needs to be paid. Dog, y'all be worried about the wrong thing. I don't go outside. I don't have friends. I don't have a social life. I dedicate all my time to boxing. If you started boxing at 6 until about 24, sparring, training, etc., but not amateur, is there any point in picking it up properly at age 30? It depends on if you want to pick it up at age 30 and what is your ultimate end goal. Like, if you plan on picking it up at age 30, do you want to pick it up and say like, all right, I'm going to go pro and then do this, this, and this? Like, what is your ultimate end goal? I don't. Yes, 2 hours. I don't know what your ultimate end goal is. um if you want to be a world class boxer, if you want to be a world champion, whatever, yeah, it depends on your weight and things like that. Because the lower the weight classes are, the harder it is to make it. But at the age of 30 for a heavyweight, that's actually a great time, especially if you already have like prior experience. That's actually a great time, because heavyweights are typically older. Because when you're a heavyweight, believe it or not, a lot of heavyweights aren't really that technically sound. And heavyweights, it only take one punch. I'm Muslim, that's why too. I'm Muslim. I'm in polygyny. But in heavyweight boxing, it only takes one punch to change and end an entire fight. So if you want to do that, especially if you're heavyweight, then like yeah, the odds favor you if you can dedicate your time and your life to it. Absolutely. But the lower you get in weight class, the harder it is to make it. And I don't think a lot of people get it and nor understand it, and that's a big problem. You know what I mean? It's just it's like I said, it's just this fantasy that people have. I run a rental company and do fitness training content box. Do you think it's wrong that I just want to do influencer boxing for money? No, you could do that. I'm developing my skills for it to actually win. No, you can 110% do influencer boxing for money. There's nothing wrong with it. Do it if that's what your goal is. I don't see why not. Hi, I'm new. What's up with you, Layla Strickland? Uh, Thank you for joining if you're new. But yeah, you can absolutely do influencer boxing if that's what you want to do and that's your end goal. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a lot of money in influencer boxing. What I will say is that you absolutely have to build up your social media platform so that you can bring more eyes to the screen when you are fighting. But there's nothing wrong with doing influencer boxing. Probably 168, but it's not like I need to learn how to box. I just got to keep in shape. Being a successful pro is different. Absolutely. Heaviest I could be is 200 pounds. That's near my walk around weight. Well, yeah. Hello, Gemma. Hi. Well, yeah, absolutely. You can get down to 168 and do your thing, staying in shape. It just that just comes with discipline and dedication as well. Um, you gotta eat properly, drink properly. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. Stay out of the way. Cut off your social life, and make it happen. Is it doable? Yeah. It just depends on how seriously you take the game of boxing. That's all. You said you train with Breadman. Have you ever seen Caleb Plant or spar with him? Yes, I've seen Caleb Plant. Yes, I know Caleb Plant. Yes, I've sparred Caleb Plant. No, I'm not going into any details. It was a great spar. He's super cool. I can fight. He can fight. Breadman, yes, that's been my trainer forever. I turned pro under Breadman. Have you ever considered commentating too? Yes, like on influencer cards, I see that being a good bag for you. Yeah, I've actually just got done commenting some undisputed as well. I just got done commentating undisputed, of undisputed boxing tournament that was just going on. That was super duper dope. So yeah, but I would love to do commentary. Commentating is super cool. I love boxing. Adonis Stevenson went pro at 29. Yep. So it's doable. I think I was lucky to start young though. I mean, yeah, it really just depends. I've learned that a lot of people who start boxing young go through a burnout a lot of the time. Whereas though like they've been doing it their whole lives and they're tired of making weight, they're tired of training, they're tired of doing all that, and they missed out on their whole entire childhood and stuff. So then like they want to just be free as they get older. I've seen it a lot in my experience with boxing. So it's just like, yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a thing. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's a double edged sword. But at the same time, for me, because I started boxing so late, I started when I was 23 years old. I started boxing so late, and it was something that I wanted to do. A lot of times, people start boxing, they're super young. It's because like their dad or uncle wants them to box, and they're trying to vicariously live through you, and then like it's kind of forced on you. And like I said, you miss a lot of your childhood and stuff like that. So you grow to resent it sometimes. But yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know. It just if it makes you happy and it satisfies you, I'd say keep doing it because in order for you to do boxing, especially what you got to put your body through, you have to love it. How long you been boxing for? Since I was 23 years old. I just turned 30 last year. So yeah, I started at 23 and I turned pro when I was 26. Yeah. When's your next fight, champ? We are nailing down the schedule after I get back from Las Vegas and Charlotte next week. We're nailing down the fight then. Would you recommend sparring a lot as a heavyweight? I find it harder to find sparring partners. I've been boxing since I was around 8, so I'm a little technical. Yeah. But I recommend sparring a lot as a heavyweight. Not necessarily that I would recommend it, but it is extremely hard. It is very hard to find sparring on a heavyweight level. I will tell you that. I can and will tell you that on a heavyweight level, it is super hard to find sparring. You don't find a lot of guys just walking around your size at the heavyweight level. So get as much sparring as you can as a heavyweight. I'd say that, yeah, because it's very far and few and hard to find, especially if you're not cutting checks and spending money to your sparring partners. Did you mean started late? Started like actually learn or train? How old were you when you first hit pads? I never walked into a boxing gym before the age of 23 years old. So I learned everything from 23 on up. I've never walked into a boxing gym ever a day in my life before the age of 23 years old. Um, wow, that is late. You are naturally gifted then. Thank you. I appreciate it. Naturally gifted, yes. I appreciate that, but also I work hard as hell, and I don't have a social life or anything. My life is my wives and my kids. That's it. And making social media content, yay, and being in the house. I don't do anything other than that. I don't. That's why y'all don't see me at parties or going out. Like, no, I do nothing. If I go out the house, it's because I'm trying to handle business. I don't leave the house for anything. I don't. My life is this. This is my life. I don't have a life outside of this, and I'm very content and happy with it. Um, I'm starting to feel like it's time to switch gyms, but I feel disloyal if I do. When do you think it's time to switch gyms? When I first started off boxing, I ended up switching gyms. Um, and I love my first trainer. I still love him to this day. That is still my guy to this day. We still talk and keep in contact today. That is my guy. But I had to do what was best for me. A situation happened that I'm not going to get into conversations with. I'm actually gonna make a video about that. I'm not gonna get into details about the situation. He wasn't wrong and I wasn't wrong. Nobody was wrong. There was no bad things to happen. We just had differences on how we saw things. He was not wrong with how he saw things. I was not wrong with how I saw things. But things happened, boom. And we parted ways, and it was what it was. That is still my guy to this day, and it's still all up. He did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I have nothing bad to say about that man. He has nothing bad to say about me. I still love him, and I still love his sons and his family. We are good. But you have to be loyal to yourself first. And that doesn't mean be a snake. That means be loyal to yourself first. If you're in a situation that is not a good situation for you, then you need to leave. You need to leave that situation. And if someone wants what's best for you, then they are going to understand, bottom line, 110%. But if you're leaving and the situation is like, oh, I'm leaving because I think I'm gonna be do better here, and I don't know, I can't explain. But if it's on some snake shit, like if you're doing it for snaky reasons, then like, all right, now you're like, what a snaky reason is. But if it's solely because like, yeah, like, hey, my opportunity here is better, the learning and the training here is better, and I've gotten all that I've gotten out of this establishment, and I'm going here, then absolutely yes, you could do so, and you shouldn't feel disloyal about that. You're the one that's in the ring, taking and giving the punches, but more importantly, taking the punches. How many times do you think you'll fight this year? Hopefully at least 3 to 4 more times. Yes, yes. I started boxing late. I've been training for just over a year now. I did well in my last three spar. One of my goals is to become a paid sparring partner. What does it take to achieve that? It don't take shit to become a paid sparring partner. To be honest with you, it just be good at fighting. If you're good at boxing and you're in that weight class, trust me, like they'll hear about you, they'll find you, and then they'll pay you. It's not really hard to become a paid sparring partner. You just gotta know how to fight. Once you know how to fight, boom, you're in. That's really it. To be honest with you, you might have to do a camp or two for free, or like a couple spars for free with certain level pros, like just so you can get that experience and they can know that you can fight. But like, yeah, it doesn't really take much to become a paid sparring partner. What's good? Everything. Was you fighting a lot before, like a street fighter? I got in a good amount of fights as a kid, yeah. Before boxing. I like to see you against a guy named Harrison or Mosley Jr. I'd love to. I'd love to fight both of those guys. Do you have any other hobbies, music, video games, movies? I play video games. I just mainly shoot content. Whenever I play video games, I'm streaming. If I'm not streaming, I'm not on a video game. I stream when I don't want to be bored doing this. Like sometimes talking to your face. Like yes, I'm reading comments. I'm talking to you guys. Yay. But like I'm talking to my own face, and sometimes that can become like really, really boring and monotonous. So like I like to play the game while I do that. So I can talk to you guys and play the game. Y'all can watch me play the game, and we can blah blah, do all the things, whatever. Inshallah, the will unblocks you, dog. I don't care if that girl unblocks me. I do not give a good goddamn if that woman unblocks me. Do you think I have nothing against that woman? She just can't be the man, and I guess she hates that I say that. Do you think Rolly is slept on? Yes. People think he's sweet, but he's low key beats Barrio and Conor Ben. I believe that 100%. Also, just because Rolly has an unorthodox style, people try to act like he can't fight. His style is just simply unorthodox. There's nothing wrong with having an unorthodox style. The nigga has an unorthodox style. He can punch, and yes, he can fight. He wouldn't have got this far if he's not able to fight. And another thing that a lot of people don't understand is just because your style is unorthodox does not mean that you can't fight. It just means that your style is unorthodox. And unorthodox fighters give a lot of technical fighters problems, especially when they can't figure them out. How important do you think film study is as a boxer trying to improve? Do you think it's good to learn different techniques and styles or sticking to the core techniques and fundamentals? I think studying film is very important, but you need to study film that is applicable to you. For example, I'll just use fighters that everyone knows. Okay, if you have a Mike Tyson style, there's no reason for you to train. There's no need for you to study Floyd Mayweather if you have a Mike Tyson style. They are two completely different fighters. That is not going to help you grow at all. If you have a Winky Wright style, if you don't know who Winky Wright is, look at Winky Wright. If you have a Winky Wright style, there's no need for you to be studying Manny Pacquiao. They are two completely different fighters. You're not going to benefit from watching Manny Pacquiao if it's not in your wheelhouse. You need to study fighters that is applicable to your fight style. If you enjoy watching a fighter that is not your weight, that is not your fight style, then absolutely watch them, be entertained, have your favorites, love them. Yay, French fries and cookies. But don't just look at a fighter to study randomly, and that is not your fight style. It doesn't make any sense. But the fundamentals are always key. You absolutely need to learn and master the fundamentals before you do anything else. Without eyebrows, you look creepy, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alopecia caused it. What's your walk around weight? Whatever the scale says at the moment. Rolly is ass. He can punch though. Wouldn't say he's ass. If he's ass, then that's a huge problem for the whatever division he's in because man's a world champion multiple times over. Relax, Tom. He got alopecia, dog. He's fine. Tim, he's fine. I've heard a lot worse from a lot more important. By whose standards? What? Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Oh yeah, Rolly. Yeah. Send trades to only if you have go to Diamond Drake. I don't know what that means, but it seems like you're promoting yourself. We don't do self promotion here, sorry. Rolly has very clear power, and his feints are very weird. Yes, it puts people off 110%. It puts people off 110%. He has an awkward style. 100% it's effective. 100% he can punch, and a lot of people discredit it. I appreciate Rolly's style. I low key took some tips with his counter left hook, so he slips to the right, but throws the left hook at the same time. How he caught Ryan multiple times in spar. How he also caught Ryan in a fight. What's more important, mastering a specific? Mastering one aspect like Adonis Stevenson or Wilder, or being well-rounded like Ward. I think that's situational, and it really just depends on who the fighter is and how they are as a fighter. Sometimes you can be a master at doing nothing special, but you do everything great. You do nothing special at all, but like overall, you do everything great, but you don't do anything special. And sometimes you just a guy that does everything special. It is what it is. So I think hopefully that answers your question. It just depends. I'm going off his performances. He is effective. He's not good at all. He's good. Being effective is good. Just good enough to use his physical abilities and his power. Then that is good. You gotta understand. Just because it's not good to what you're used to, that doesn't mean that it's not good. Let me see. How can I put this? He's effective. Okay, Tim Duncan was never a wow basketball player. He's the greatest point. He's the greatest power forward to ever play the game of basketball, and that's not even a discussion. His name is Mr. Fundamentals. You will literally look up, and Tim Duncan will have dropped 30, and you're like, nigga, win. All based off of hitting this middle of the square and the backboard and just being fundamentally sound. Tim Duncan didn't. What did he do that was like, oh, super duper? He mastered the fundamentals. That was the special thing about Tim Duncan. He mastered the fundamentals. We have to stop saying because someone is not razzle dazzle that they're not good. It doesn't mean you're not good because you're not razzle dazzle. It just means your style is different. That doesn't mean you're not good though. He's like a Wilder with less power and more IQ. Wouldn't say that. How to practice breathing right in sparring? I feel like I tire faster because I tense up and hold my breath when punching or moving my head. Yeah, that's because you're tense. That's because you're stressed. Stop being stressed. It's just a spar. It's fine. There's no winner or losers in sparring. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Work on things. Consciously work on your breathing if you know that that is an issue. Consciously work on your breathing. That is all. Consciously work on your breathing. Oh, we do have super chats too, guys. So if you know, I'm reading all of the chats, but if you have an important question, I'm taking too long to get to you. We do have super chats and donos and shit like that. So yeah, those exist. Like I want to say for like the past two streams, a couple people did it, but yeah, thanks to all of you guys who visited and joined. And no, you don't have to dono, and no, you don't have to super chat. Just letting you know, membership donos and super chats are a thing if you want to do them. You do not have to do them. How to okay, Rolly versus Cruz at 147 is a completely different fight. It is. It is. It is. Styles make fights. They that would be a great joint. Um how long Tank in for? I don't understand that question. Thanks for the response. I follow up. The follow up to my question is I'm currently 5'10", 152. Okay, that's pretty tall for you to be 152. Do you think I'm more likely to get more paid sparring opportunities at that weight class, or should I move up? It just depends on what it depends on what on what the fighter in that camp is looking for. So if they're looking for a tall, if they're looking for a tall 154 or a tall 147, then you're going to get a lot of money. Or if you can like walk around a little bit higher, you can get work at 160 or 168. Absolutely, you can get paid to do that for 100%. Yeah. So you have the option of getting paid at 60, 68, 47, 54, depending on on how you keep your weight and things of that nature. I miss Tank. He should not be held accountable. I don't know what you mean by he should not be held accountable. If someone did something wrong, they should be held accountable. If they didn't do anything wrong, they have nothing to be held accountable for. But everyone should be held accountable for things that they do. I have no idea what Tank did or did not do. Hopefully we can see you on a big undercard soon, maybe PBC. Hopefully so. We have things in the work. Tank is the greatest wasted talent. Like me, I was just like Tank in the streets in street fights, 3-0, never lost. You're nothing like Tank. Tank is well past 3-0, and you can't say he's the greatest wasted talent like you because he is a world-renowned fighter, and people say he's a wasted talent, but yet everyone is trying to fight everyone that he's fought for. Everybody's trying to fight Roach. Everybody's trying to fight Cruz. Everybody's trying to fight Ryan Garcia. Everybody's trying to fight Barrios. Everybody that Tank beat and fought, everyone wants to fight, but then they'll say that Tank has never fought anyone. But all of the hot names in the division, Tank has literally beat. Frank Martin, fucking Ryan Garcia, everybody, all these names that Tank has beat, everyone's clamoring to fight. But when Tank beats them, then Tank has fought no one. Super weird. But no, you're not like Tank. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, I just mean that factually. You're not like Tank. I do fuck with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is that guy. Who should be the next who should be next for Tiafimo? I have no idea who should be next for Tiafimo. I don't care for Tiafimo and I don't care for his career. Thanks, champ. You already know. Motherfucker be 6'2", 215 pounds, studying Tank Davis. Yeah, yeah, right. I remember throwing punches as kid at kids knuckles. Only never used full power. Always won. Congratulations. How would you describe your style as a fighter? I would just say it's my style. I have a unique. I've been told my style is very weird and awkward and unique. So yeah, I'd say that's my style. Who's opening my door?
Are you live?
Yes, I'm live. Are you not dressed?
Was there tissue downstairs?
It is. I think I left it on the counter by accident. All right. If I'm you, I'm calling out someone like Ammo. I reckon you could beat him, and Eddie Hearn meeting you might go well. Eddie Hearn knows who I am. But also I don't really need to call out any names. Everyone knows who I am. Now, if they want to sign contracts or not, that's their business. But I don't necessarily need to call anyone out. They know who I am, and calling them out really doesn't mean anything if nothing's going to happen. Like if no one's going to sign a contract, like I don't know. I have a big enough social media presence and following and brand that I don't really have to do those things. If I want to, I can, but whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. And then I trust my team. My team knows what they're doing, so I don't care. French fries. But yeah, I'll fight whoever. I don't really give a damn. Cruz can't compete at 147. That boy is 5'4". It depends on the fighter. Tank Davis is a killer. Anthony Joshua wakes up and thinks he is not 220. I don't know what that means. Cruz got humbled by Tank. I think it was a good fight. Walaikum salam, brother. You talking fast as shit? Yes, because I'm reading a lot of comments. Get right with. Oh no, 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 no. Remove. No, 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 no. We don't do religion here and politics, please. No, it's just gonna get you blocked. What do you think best muscle groups to work in the gym if you lift and box? I don't lift and box. I don't touch weights, and if I do, it is a very small amount of weights for a very little bit of reps. I rarely ever touch weights. I know it's hard to believe. A lot of people I don't touch weights, so I couldn't really answer that question. Tank was never in the streets. He just beats women. Well, not getting into that. Um, what's that? Give me your top five GOAT fighters. Come on, Sugar Ray Leonard got to be in there. Sugar Ray Leonard is in my top five. We got Marvin Hagler, we got Ray Leonard, we got Manny Pacquiao, Ray Leonard, Manny Pacquiao, Roberto Duran, and fifth. Screw it, let's throw Muhammad Ali there. Why not? Will Clarissa Shields box your socks off? Yes, she would box my socks right off after a hard day of work, and I'm tired. She'd box my socks off. Yes, I'd say, Clarissa, could you please take off my socks? And she'd box them off. Which T.O. shit the bed against Shakur, complete dominance. That wasn't even a fight. It wasn't even competitive. He completely ruined TFMO. Everyone hates Shakur Stevenson, and I'm not sure why. It's super weird. That kid can fight his ass off, and he also showed and proved that he can also stand in a pocket and you still can't touch him. That kid can fight. Which most known boxer around your weight do you think you could beat? All of them. If you're in my weight class, I think I could beat you. That's just the end of that. Jay, why is it wrong to study Tank as a 6 foot person? I mean, it's nothing wrong with taking and liking how he counters. If his style is not applicable to you, then you shouldn't study him. If you're 6 foot and you have a style like him, then yeah, you should study him. I remember watching your fight online. You take too many punches. I take far too many punches. I definitely think you should watch my fights online because I take too many punches. Prince Nassim or Ricardo Lopez. I don't know. It'd be a great fight, but it doesn't matter. I take too many punches, so it wouldn't matter. My thoughts don't matter. By the way, I do not fight like Tank. Akin to David Allen. Nice. Would Clarissa Shields box your socks off? Oh, I answered that. You're not wrong. Vidal Riley had a big social media following before he even went pro. That's what I'm saying. When you can build up your social media platform, a lot of things don't apply. Yes, I'm reading every single comment. So again, if you have an important question, you can send a super chat and I'll read yours first. Thank you, man. I definitely appreciate your feedback. Absolutely. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. With happiness and wealth. Thank you very much. In its many forms for you all. Thank you. Tell them just keep boxing and not that's not a thing. You don't know anything. I don't. Why don't you lift weights? What the hell, man? How can your shoulders have stamina to keep punching? There's a bunch of different ways for your shoulders to have stamina to keep punching besides lifting weights. Lifting weights is not the only nor key way to make that happen. A proper heavy bag, properly get a heavy bag that's about 250 pounds and do proper heavy bag work on that. You'll be fine. Do some double end bag work. You'll be fine. Do some speed bag work. You'll be fine. Resistant bands are better than weights. Yes, I like resistant bands better than weights. At least I like them. Are weights bad for boxing? It depends on the fighter. It depends on the fighter and the weight class. Peak Roy Jones was untouchable to me. Peak Roy Jones Jr. was that's my fifth GOAT fighter. GOAT is Roy Jones Jr. Peak Roy Jones Jr. No one in the history of boxing, I think, can beat peak Roy Jones Jr. I don't think anyone can in the history of boxing. I don't think anyone can beat a peak Roy Jones Jr. You don't have Ali as your GOAT, Roberto Duran, the one who humbled again and again. We all have our GOATs. You know what I mean? I think Muhammad Ali is in a whole different conversation, to be honest. I think it's Muhammad Ali, and then you can have your top five. So I think Muhammad Ali is in a Michael Jackson conversation. You can have whoever you want as your favorite, king of, he's the king of pop. There's no one, and there's only one Michael Jackson. There's only one Muhammad Ali. So they're in their own section, and then everyone else. Oscar over Roberto Duran. Hey, yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. We have our opinions. My opinion doesn't have to be yours, and yours does not have to be mine. It's okay. You replied about T.O. with a little bit of animosity. Great fighter, regardless of the loss. Oh, no, it has nothing to do with the loss. To Shakur Stevenson, absolutely not. I think Teofimo can fight. I never said he can't fight. I'm not a fan of his as an individual, as a person. I don't like who he is as an individual. I'm not a fan of his at all. But it has nothing to do with his fighting ability. To say that man can't fight would be crazy. That's criminal to say he can't fight. That boy can fight. He just got his ass kicked against Shakur Stevenson. I got Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Tank, and Shakur. It's a hell of a five right there. It's definitely different. Interesting, yes. You are a pressure fighter, a counter puncher. From what you guys have seen, absolutely yes. I'm whatever needs to be done to win. Who you got winning, Inoue or Bam? I go back and forth on that fight every single freaking day, dog. Every day I go back and forth on that fight. Man, 50-50 fight, dog. Whoo, jeepers creepers. I would love to see the fight, though. I'll tell you that much. I'd love to see it. Let me see more of the body work. Let me see more of the body work. More work more, my guy. Go and start using that left hand. Thank you, coach. Not gonna finish reading that comment, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't really take tips from guys that are not my coach. Um, Also, I got tons of knockouts by body shots. Unfortunately, you guys just might not have seen the fights, but yeah, I'm not going to take advice from someone that's not my coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. I definitely wouldn't take advice from a stranger. I have no reason to take advice from a stranger as far as boxing goes. That's crazy talk. Taking advice from strangers is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I would never do that. I'd never take advice from a stranger pertaining to boxing. That's crazy talk. No, you don't do that, guys. Let's not take advice from strangers when it comes to boxing. Because in the most respectful way possible, instead of you giving me advice to do that, build a fighter and then give him the advice, and then have that fighter, if they're in the 160 division, have them beat me with all of the flaws that you see. That's how I look at it. And I'm not saying this in no arrogant, weird way. I'm just saying, like, that's why you don't listen to strangers. Or if you don't want to build a fighter, you can do those things. Do you think boxing league would be successful if they got rid of rounds, no breaks whatsoever? No breaks. Whoever quits or can't continue. That's fucking craziness. They would never do that. That is bad for so many. Boxing is bad for health as is. That is bad for so many different health reasons. It makes no sense at all. Lifting weights makes you good at lifting weights. LOL. Absolutely. How do boxers discover their style? You got to get in the ring. You got to spar and you got to train, and you'll know your style. What do you think about calisthenics for boxers? Do those? I find it keeps me stronger, but not bulky. Exactly. Yes, 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 yes. Good job, Rebel Fitness. Yes, yes, yes to all of that. Lifting weights is low key counterintuitive for shoulder endurance. It's 18, 16 ounce gloves on the bag, and the pads is great for shoulder endurance. I don't know what I'm talking about though. Aren't playing. Hopefully they'll listen to you. How would you see a fight between Boots and Devin going? I hear people talk about this crazy ass topic and wanted to know your opinion on this since you've boxed and you know Boots personally. I don't think it's not going off of who I know personally at all. I think I know Boots personally, and I think Devin Haney is cool. We met once before in person. I think Devin Haney is like super cool, but I honestly don't think anybody in the 154 division can beat Boots, and I don't see it happening. That's just me being honest. Which is the most talented fighter in boxing? Who wasted it or something like that? Who's the most talented? It's a lot of talented guys out there. It just depends on what you're looking for. Bam is talented. Boots is talented. David Benavidez is talented. Naya Inoue is talented. Baval, Better Babe. You got a lot of talented fighters. Do you think it's bad to train at different boxing gyms? I wouldn't do that because there's too many cooks in a pot. You got too many cooks in the kitchen, too many hands in the pot. If someone's making my food, I don't want 16 other people making it. Like, let me taste this recipe that I like. I don't need 12 other people in that pot cooking. It makes no sense to me. I think in a way edges out, but edges out Bam. I'm not mad at it. I won't argue that. Nigga hurt. Yeah, I'm hurt. I love when you answer questions and people say you're hurt because you give an honest answer. There's no way that a stranger can hurt me with anything because I don't know you. And also, like, I wish y'all knew how I grew up, who my mother was. Like, the things y'all say, who? No, there's no way that y'all think honesty means you're hurt. Like, that's probably the biggest pet peeve that I have with this generation. Y'all think everything is rage baited, or like when someone tells the truth, they're hurt. No, it's not that they're hurt, nigga. It's just y'all are so soft that when someone speaks directly, you think they're angry. Like, no, no one's angry. I don't know you. I can't be hurt at anything that you say when you're in my live watching my streams. You're watching me in an empty room talk about things. How can I be hurt about what you're saying? I don't even know you in the most respectful way possible. I have no idea who you are, so I can't be hurt about what you say. Yeah, I just think I don't know. That's a generational thing. It's super weird. But that's because y'all live behind computer screens most of the times. It's so weird. Question: what do you do to stay in shape and consistent? And what do you eat for cutting weight? I live in the gym. I don't do anything other than go to the gym and go home and make content all day. I don't do things anything other than that. This is my life. So I live in the gym every day and I don't eat bad foods and I eat a lot of watermelon and I drink a lot of water. Are you in boots related? No, we're not related at all. You should start doing the Philly shell. I can, but I'm not. Do you think AI can make a new style better than orthodox ones that is way more effective? AI as in artificial intelligence? I don't know. As a southpaw, should I either study other southpaws or other fighters of a similar build? You should study who benefits you. But if you're a southpaw, you should definitely be studying other southpaws as well. Why do you think people disregard Inoue? Even Usyk got Shakur over Inoue because Inoue fights in a lower weight class. I don't think that Usyk is going to discredit him in the sense of like, oh, I just think he likes Shakur better. But Usyk would never say that Inoue is not a fucking monster because he has that name for a reason. But a lot of people don't watch, and I'm not putting this on any other boxer. A lot of people don't watch lower weight class boxing, so therefore they have no idea what's going on down there in those lower weight classes. Pound for pound, if Naoya Inoue was the same size as everybody in the world, and everyone was the same size, Naoya Inoue would probably absolutely be the best fighter on the face of the planet. And that's just the truth. How many times do you work out a day? Once. Once a day, maybe twice, depends. On your channel, you give lots of info of the mental life aspect of boxing. Would you ever consider teaching boxing on YouTube similar to Tony Jeffers or Coach Anthony? I don't know. Thoughts on Brian Norman? Could he beat Conor Ben or Tio? I don't know, because Brian Norman has a new trainer. And shout out to Brian Norman, man. That's the guy. Oh, thank you so much for someone who ever just sent these stars. This is the first time I'm ever getting these on YouTube. So yay, they're a thing. We got 9 stars by this person. Shh. 10 stars by this person. Shush, I'm something I don't know, but thank you so much for sending them stars. I have no idea what that means, but yay. No, anyway, I don't know about yeah, no, okay, we were talking about Brian Norman now. Oh yeah, shout out to Brian Norman. Me and him actually just talked a couple days ago, man. We had a little skirmish before, not physically, but a little thing. But you know what I mean? Shout out to Brian Norman, man. We talked about things. That's a cool guy. Where do you find good sparring? I'm from Philly. All I gotta do is throw a goddamn rock. But also I do get invited out to camps and stuff because of who I am and the work that I put in, mashallah. So yeah, I might be wrong, but the first boxers didn't do rounds. They didn't. It was like, nigga, go until somebody stops, which is crazy. That's why it was a lot of horrible injuries and deaths and things and ruined lives because of it. Jeepers creepers, it was bad. Would you like to I'm sorry, who would you like to fight out of the other prospects? Anybody. I don't think anyone can beat me. I hope that narrows it down. Who you got, Tank or Shakur? I think it's a 50-50 fight. Prime Crawford versus Prime Mayweather. Prime Mayweather. Prime Mayweather. That takes nothing from Crawford at all. Prime Mayweather. I did not actually, like, I've seen Roy Jones Jr. fight, but you got to remember, I'm only 30 years old. I was a baby when Roy Jones Jr. was really fighting. I was a baby. I wasn't really watching boxing. In my lifetime of fighters that I've seen, I've never seen a boxer that is better than Floyd Mayweather, and that's just the truth. I've never seen a boxer that's better than Floyd Mayweather at all. At all. I don't think, I'm just being honest. In my lifetime, I've never seen a boxer better than Floyd Mayweather. And that's crazy thing is, I'm not even a big Floyd fan. I'm being honest. I'm not a big Floyd fan at all. But you'd be crazy just to say anything other than that. It's just the truth. Broner achieved a lot. He did achieve a lot, but I don't have to speak on Broner because we see his situation. You should start doing the Philly shell. No. Inoue versus Espinosa. Who you got winning? Anyway. Would you go to Zuffa Boxing if the contract makes sense and everything? Absolutely, why not? At 126. I'm not God. I know you're probably from New York, so I know y'all say that, but I'm not God. Are you going to do a video of Ryan Garcia saying he could beat Bud? Is there even a reason to acknowledge that? The same way you was on Shill's ass? Sure, why not? I'll make a video. Since we put it that way, sure. Sure, why not? I'll do a video on Ryan Garcia saying that he could beat Bud. Sure, I'll do that. Why not? Zuffa would be a good look. It depends. Is there any Street Fighter you see with Ned? I don't know any Street Fighters, so I can't even really read the rest of that question because I don't know any Street Fighters. I'm skeptical on the testing in Zuffa though. What's their testing? Facts, bro. You answer directly. Motherfucker say you heard. Yeah, it's weird. Oh yeah, I'm reading every single comment. So I'm sure there's a lot of comments that I haven't got to yet. If in fact you have an important comment or question and you want it read, you could just send a super chat and then I'll read your comments and questions first. Spencer Timzu, Spence. Best Philly boxer of all time. Either it really is either going to be Frazier or Hopkins or Bernard Hopkins. How important is road work? Extremely. Is sprinting better than long distance? It depends on who you are. But yes, you should absolutely do both. You should sprint and you should do at least 3 miles. Do you still have a full time job? I just recently stopped my full time job like 4 months ago. If you fighting at lightweight, 135 pounds, a man, Bacosa, I'm so sorry, I don't know who that is. Or Cormel Moulton. Cormel Moulton is cool, but I think you looking for Moulton though. I mean, you afraid of top ranked fighters booking you up for a fight? I don't even fight at 135, bro. I'm a middleweight. So I don't even know where that came from, to be honest with you. There's no way I'd ever fight those guys. I don't even know who one of those guys is. But I'm very afraid of you. Actually, I'll do you one better. I'm afraid of fighting anybody at 135 because I'm afraid to make that weight. I haven't been 135 pounds since I was like 12. Nigga, I fight at 160. I'm horrified to fight at 135. You definitely have me pegged right there, bud. Like, somebody clip it, please, if y'all know how to clip it. Because, yeah, I am horrified of fighting Cormel or this other person whom you've named at 135. I'm terrified. Could you imagine me making 135 and I fight at 160? If I fight at 160, imagine what I walk around at. You want me to cut all of those pounds? If I just say me fighting at 160 alone, 135, nigga, that's me cutting down what, 25 pounds? Oh, sheesh. After making weight? Oh, yeah, bro, I'm terrified of fighting those guys. This guy's crazy. What about for your drinks besides water? What do you drink? Water. A lot of fucking water. If I do drink juice, it's homemade juice, freshly made with fruits and vegetables in which that my wife has made. I don't just drink juice. That's craziness. 10 years later, where do you see you? With extremely successful, inshallah. Water, all you need for referral. Love water. Is boxing the most dangerous combative sport? Yes, because you can take blunt punishment for longer periods of time. In MMA, you can get put out quickly and they fight for shorter rounds. In boxing, you can take 12 rounds of being punched in the face and be concussed and keep on fighting. If you don't get knocked out, you're just fucked. Um, and also, do you eat one time or I eat whenever I feel like eating. How many push-ups can you do in one set? Oh, I hate push-ups. Let's just say 30. I hate push-ups so much. I can't stand push-ups. Do you think Arrow's coming back? Yes, he's coming back. The conversations that you guys had, yes, Arrow's coming back. Yeah, he's coming back, Sean. Yes, I'm 30 years old. Bro, just chatting. Yes, I am. That's the whole point of the live stream. Yeah, if there anything I learned from watching Mayweather is not to bet against Mayweather. That's the most important thing that you learn from Mayweather that anyone should learn. Tank better than Floyd, not even gonna lie. I'm so sorry that you believe that. I don't think you can beat Adamas or Jennebeck. I don't think I can either. I appreciate that. I don't know what you want me to say. If I say I can, then you're just gonna say I can, and then we're gonna go in a circle. But yes, I also don't think I can beat these people. What's your cash app? I don't have a cash app, but you can donate directly to here. Um, Will Fulton come back? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think me and Steph don't talk about boxing. Whenever we talk about it, it's not really. I mean, yeah, me and Steph don't talk about boxing. I don't think me and Steph have ever talked about boxing really. I got my first amateur fight on the 20th. Yeah, and I messed up my wrist. Oh no! In training, what should I do to recover fast? You should heal it and ice it and put it in rice and squeeze the rice and stuff like that. Philly Swan. Okay. How is Tank better than Floyd? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't. Yeah. I got my first amateur fight. I just answer that. Since you're from Philly, are you a Muslim? And if so, how was your Ramadan? Ramadan was great, mashallah. And yes, I'm from Philly. I got my first amateur fight. I answered that. Marvin Hagler. Again, if you don't, y'all don't have to spam questions. If you have an important question, and you want me to see it, just send a super chat because I'm reading every single comment. So if you want your answer, then yeah, Marvin Hagler versus Triple G. That's a hell of a fucking fight. I'm gonna go with Marvin Hagler, but oh my god, ooh, Triple G was a motherfucker. I got my first. Okay. All right. Let's go on ahead and just yeah. Um. Okay. That's a lot of weight to cut, G, the most weight. Who do you think your best fight would be right now? A 50-50? I don't think it's no 50-50 with me and nobody. Yeah, I don't think it's 50-50 with me and nobody. Advice for first amateur fight: have fun and remember all of your training. Keep your hands up, keep your defense sharp, and keep your offense sharp and your defense wise. Stay defensively sound and stay offensively wise. Um, Pull out if you need. Yeah, if you definitely, yeah, guy involving your hand, even though you're on timeout, because stop spamming the same question. Pull out the fight if you need to. I think you'd be a chill ass dude to hang with, no cap. Thank you very much. I like to think so myself. How did you manage fasting and training? I've been fasting my whole entire life and playing football at the same time and all the things. How do boxers build cat-like reflexes? By just getting in there and continuously working nonstop. You find your eyes get better and better and better. Your reflexes and instincts get better and better, better. Can you pinpoint who or when your easiest bout was? My easiest fight. There's one guy I had took on a very short notice because our opponent ended up getting injured or something like fucking 10 days before the fight or something like that. So we had to get a guy on like super short notice. He came in like 10 pounds overweight because he really didn't have a choice. And I wasn't mad at him at all for that. He had every right to do so. He actually really did try to lose weight. Like he really was trying really hard. It was super short notice. It was okay. Probably him. I would say he was. I think I ended up stopping him in like the second round, first or second round. I don't know, but it wasn't his fault. In all honesty, it wasn't his fault. What was the most important thing you learned from your first pro fight? Is that it's nothing like amateurs. And that the headgear is a target. Headgear is a target, and when you see somebody standing in front of you without headgear on, then yeah, it's different. When you see him without headgear on, it's absolutely different. So yeah, that's the most yeah, and them little gloves hurt. What was the most important? I'm sorry. Okay, what has boxing taught you outside of the ring? Discipline. A lot of discipline. That everything doesn't need a reaction. Everything doesn't need a reaction at all. So yeah, that's what it's taught me. But I'm about to get ready to eat lunch, guys. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming and joining the live. Okay, so if you're 160 pounds, will you take a shot at the WBC? How would you do that? Why does it matter what I'm going to do, Toby Boxer? Why does it matter? I'm already scared to fight anybody, as you said. So why does it matter, bro? Why does it matter? It does not matter. Anything that I say, you're going to just say I'm scared or I'm not going to win. So it doesn't matter, bro. So no, I don't plan on going for that. No. Thank you for your time. You're welcome, man. Thank you for the chat. Yeah, dog. I'm gonna be doing this type of going, bro. I'm gonna be doing this like on a regular basis, you guys. So please jump on in, join, and have fun. Ask questions. That's what I'm here for. I love you guys. Later, guys. Have a good day, man. Peace.